Good morning, everyone, or afternoon for those of you that are watching this in the afternoon. We are on day 4 of health, so we are going to go to our notebooks right away today, and we are titling today Thursday, November 30th. Our topic is setting goals. So that goes at the top of the first page, or the front of a page. Our warm-up today. A goal is something you want that takes planning and work. Write a few sentences in your notebook about a goal you have for this week and a goal that you have for the end of this year. So you're going to pause the video and complete your warm-up now. Okay, warm-up should be completed. To build on what we did yesterday, we are working on taking the health knowledge that we have up a step to help change our health behaviors. So you're going to be thinking about areas that you might have been weak in yesterday when you did your personal health inventory, when you checked out how you rated on a 0 to 4 scale. Finding an area that you might be weaker in and working on changing that behavior. So, our notes for today: a goal, something you want to accomplish that takes planning and work. So we already saw that in the warm-up. So when you are thinking of the goal that you want to create, you're going to look back at your personal health inventory that you did yesterday, or you're just going to think about your life in general, things that you feel like you might struggle in personally, things that you might struggle in mentally, things that you might struggle in socially, and figure out a way that you can improve those things. Okay, so at the end of class today, you have an assignment. It's going to be to set a goal. So as you go through the notes today, as you're thinking about all these things, think about something that you really want to see made a change in your life. When you did the health inventory yesterday, was there something on there in your physical health that you would like to see done better, or something on there in your mental emotional health or your social health that you'd like to see be better? Or maybe you're not always making good safety choices, like buckling up when you're riding in a car. Okay, maybe you'd just like to be more cautious of the needs of others, and you would like to do more volunteering or more service work. Okay, so be thinking of those as we go through our notes today. So we have our goal definition. A short-term goal, which is what we are going to be working on, is something you can realistically accomplish in a short amount of time, 4 weeks or less. So that's what we're working on, something you can realistically accomplish in 4 weeks or less. That's a short-term goal. A long-term goal is something you want to achieve that takes months or even years. So this would be something like, by the end of the year, I want to have all A's, or I want to be in the AP classes when I get to high school. So those are long-term, months, years type goals. Okay, a long-term goal might be something like, I'd like to attend Harvard University. Okay, then you'll set short-term goals along the way to help you reach that long-term goal. I'm going to make the honor roll. I'm going to be in AP classes in high school. I'm going to take some college prep classes or some dual credit classes when I get to high school to help me reach that long-term goal of going to Harvard University. Okay, so that's a long-term goal. How we set goals, our goal setting process. Okay, so you can't just say, I'm going to do this, and then just expect to do it. You have to have a process. It takes planning, it takes thought, it takes a commitment from you. So specific, state exactly what you want to accomplish. Tell me exactly what it is that you want to do. You cannot say something like, I want to eat healthy foods. Okay? That is not specific enough. That is not telling me anything. Okay, good. You want to eat healthy foods. How are you going to measure that? How are you going to actually know that you are getting healthier foods, that you're actually eating healthier foods? So you need to say something like, I want to eat a fruit or vegetable with every meal. That's very, very specific. Okay? that you can measure. You can say, yes, I ate an apple with this meal. Yes, I had some broccoli with dinner. You can measure that. You know that you're doing it. So it has to be specific enough for you to measure and specific enough for you to know that you are actually doing what you're setting out to do. You can't say something like, I want to be in better shape. What does that mean? How are you going to measure that? Okay? If you want to be in better shape, a way to measure might be by a mile time. I want to run a mile in less than 10 minutes. Or maybe it's by number of push-ups and sit-ups you do. I want to be able to do 25 push-ups on the FitnessGram test. I want to be able to do 30 sit-ups on the FitnessGram test. So it needs to be something that you can measure, something that is specific. You can't say, I want to have better grades. That you can't measure that. Tell me what you want. I have a C in science right now. By report card time, I'd like to have an A. That you can see. Okay. I want to have no missing assignments. That you can measure. Okay. So you can't just say I want to do better. It has to be a specific goal. It can't say I want to be better at basketball. What does that mean for you? Do you want to dribble better? Do you want to shoot layups better? Do you want to have better free throw percentage? It needs to be specific. So think of that as you're writing a goal, because if your goal is not specific, I'm going to give it back to you and tell you to do it again. Tell me exactly what you want to do and exactly how we're going to measure that. Okay, so that comes to our next part. Important. This needs to be something you want to accomplish. It can't just be like, well, my mom thinks I should have good grades, so I'm going to make that my goal. Or my dad thinks I should be a better basketball player, so that should be my goal. It needs to be important to you if you're going to accomplish it. If it's not important to you, you will never accomplish the goal. You need to be able to check your progress. It needs to be measurable. How are you going to measure your progress? So with I want to eat healthy foods, you can measure. I want to eat a fruit or vegetable with every meal. You just check it off. Yes, I ate a fruit or vegetable with this meal. You can measure that. You can see it. If you want to have no missing assignments, you can check Skyward, see if you've turned in every assignment. That is measurable. If you want to run a mile in less than 10 minutes, you can time yourself. Do your first time and then do it again in a week and see where you're at. So you will be able to check your progress as you go if your goal is specific. But that is important. You can't just not know how you're doing. You have to be able to check in and see what your progress is. Barriers. What can keep us from reaching our goals? Okay, there will be people in your life, there will be things in your life that will cause you to have a barrier, to stop you, prevent you from doing things. Maybe your video games prevent you from getting your homework done when you get home. Maybe your friends prevent you from going to bed on time if you want to make a bedtime your goal. Okay? So think about what barriers you might have from keeping you to reach your goal. So it might be that your mom always buys donuts and you want to eat healthier, you want to eat a fruit or vegetable, but you see the donut and you go for the donut. So what things, what people, what events, what other things can get in our way from helping us reach our goal? That is a barrier. Support. Who's going to support you along the way? You have to have a support system, someone you can ask to say, hey, will you come run with me? Hey, Mom, will you make me this broccoli? It's my favorite. Who is going to support you? Who's going to even just tell you, hey, that's not your goal. That's not what you're working on. Are you sure you want to do that? So find those people, friends or family, who will support you and help you along the way. It could be teachers, it could be coaches, it could be anyone. But who is that support system for you? Time limit. It has to be realistic. You cannot set a goal and say, I'm going to eat healthier by, end of the school year. Okay? That is not a realistic time frame for eating healthier. Like, you can start eating healthier tomorrow. So that is more realistic of a time frame, something you can do right away. You don't want to set a time frame that is way too long or way too short. So you couldn't say something like, I'm going to shoot 100% free throws by Tuesday. That's like 4 days away, 5 days away. That's not something that's realistic. You need time to practice. You need time to, really make sure that your skills are good. So that is too short of a time frame. Same thing with like losing weight. You can't say, I'm going to lose 20 pounds by next Thursday. Not going to happen for anyone. It's just impossible. So the time frame needs to be realistic to your goal. You can't say I'm going to take my F to an A by next week. Unless there's some one crazy assignment that you've not done, there's no way you're taking your F to an A in a week. So you need to make sure that you're setting a realistic time frame for your goal, or making your goal realistic for the time frame that you have. Okay, our last one is to celebrate. Uh-oh, there's the bell. Not your bell. Celebrate. Celebrate without derailing your goal. Don't celebrate with cake if you've reached your goal of losing 5 pounds. Okay? Don't celebrate by not doing any assignments if your goal was to turn in all your assignments. So find a way to celebrate without derailing your goal. Okay, our 3 wrap-up questions. What's the difference between long-term and short-term goals? In your opinion, what are 3 of the most important steps to setting a goal, and why? You need to have the why in there. And 3, this tying back into yesterday, how can setting goals help us change some of our current health behaviors and lead a healthier life? Okay. Once you've finished with this, you have the goal assignment. You're going to be setting the goal. The instructions are on the assignment. So read through it. If you have questions, come up and ask me, or don't come up and ask me, raise your hand. I'll come to you. But go back to the stream section and go to the goal assignment, and then you're going to fill in the goal assignment just like you filled in yesterday's personal health inventory, setting a specific goal and going through all the goal steps for that assignment. So that is what you are to do as soon as you finish. If you have questions, like I said, raise your hand. All right, have a good day.